Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I had some free time. I figured I'd just jump on live with you guys and kind of just see what's going on, do a little market analysis. I was just over in the school doing a little hangout sesh with the homies over in the school. Figured I'd just jump on. So happy to see all of you in here today. I know I need to schedule these streams much more in advance. I know you guys always have to end up rewatching these. But sometimes I just get bored, guys, and I just want to jump on and do a little live stream. So as always, happy to see you all in here. What's up, Milan? I see you. Vangelis. We're going to go with that one. Paul K. Patrick. What's up, homie? Noah B. Fire. Wasting Memories. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Good to see you. That was a nice little tune, eh? Kind of feeling it. I think that's going to be the new intro. Also, we got the new blue rocking, because, you know, we got the new blue light. Got the new blue, you know what I mean? Feel like it suits. But yeah, I'm just gonna start off today. I'm gonna do a little just do a little market analysis. Look at the market, see what's going on today. I haven't done any since my video this morning, so I'll give you guys kind of just just a little run through that I do every day. I do this 3 times a day, just kind of see what's going on in the market, and I'll kind of walk you guys through what I'm looking at, what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, if I'm making any moves. I'd be pretty surprised if I'm buying or selling or doing anything today, but worth a look. So yeah, I'll just kind of update you guys on that. The market's in a pretty decent spot today. Things are looking decently green. We got Crow up today, OKB form. So some pretty interesting stuff. World Liberty Financial is still falling as per usual. Thing has not been performing too great. But yeah, we're going to check it all out today. And then yeah, after that, we are going to do a little Q&A action. Like I mentioned before, you guys can feel free to ask whatever you want. We can check out some stuff that you want us to check out. I'm all open to it. And yeah, we'll probably be on here for the next 45 minutes or so. So let's rock and roll here. I'm going to pull up some of my stuff that I'm going to shill to you later on. Of course, the playbook being one of them. The Instagram being another. Just changed my profile picture. Kind of like it. But yeah, so anyway, how y'all doing today? How we feeling today? Let's start off there. How's people feeling today? I see everybody. Abdullah, how's it going? Noah, shout out to you, Noah. Happy to help, homie. Paul K, what's up? The crypto playbook is awesome. I did not pay Be Fire to say that, so shout out to you. Amir, what's going on? Every day is either bull market or bear market. Yeah, a little bit of both, homie. Can we expect a dip before mooning? What's the consensus? I'll talk about that in a little bit. Tyler, can I send you a picture of some tea I did on ETH that I think you missed? Yes, absolutely. Count me. Feel free. We jumped on from the voice chat to here. Feeling good. What up, homie? Carpenter, welcome in. Yeah, happy to have you. I know a good bit of you guys are over in the school getting some stuff in with full Frankie. Frank's always smashing it. Dude's killing it. He always knows what he's going on. They might still be in there, eh? They're not in there anymore. But shout out to Frank if you're here. Frank, shout out to you. Yeah, we got a lot of great stuff going on there over in the school. So shout out to everybody there. But yeah, that's about it for today. So let's go ahead and let's check out what's going on. Andrew Harris, I see you. What's up? Oh yeah, sounds good. Please talk about Coral. Yeah, I'll look at Coral as well. No problem. So what's going on in the market today? Yeah, so like I mentioned before, pretty green day here in the market. We have a lot of things up. World Liberty Financial is down. BitGets token is down. Maker is down. Outside of that, most things are up. This thing just broke into... Where did this come from? Oh, never mind. Okay, but yeah, so that thing's down a little bit today. Pendle's up a little bit. M's up again today. M's honestly been absolutely going dumb. Is anybody in on Meme Core? This is one I've not really ever looked at. I've not even really done much. I don't really know what it is, to be fair, but this thing has been smashed. I feel like every day I check bubbles, this bad boy is just sending, and I don't even know what it is. Meme Core is the Meme President L1, purpose built for Meme 2.0. Get some decent views. Anybody in on this? Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting. Looks cool. But yeah, this thing's absolutely flying again. Yeah, Pump's finally up for once in his whole life. I'm just joking. I mean, it's actually been performing decently well over the last month. It just obviously has not had a great run at the market yet. But, I mean, to be expected. But yeah, market looking pretty good. What about the top 10? How's the top 10 looking? I wish there was a way I could filter that right here. That'd be great. Just go over to market cap, see how that's going. Top 10's looking decent, being led up by Ethereum. And again, guys, if you did just join the stream, I am honestly just doing a quick little analysis session. I like to do a little analysis session 3 times a day just to make sure that I am always up to date on what the market is doing and if I need to make any pivots. So that's all this is. I'm just going to jump through a couple different tabs, look around, see how things are going, make a general thesis of how I feel about the market, and I'll share all that with you here, just kind of live in effect. But yeah, so looks good. Bitcoin's up on the day, close to $112,000. I know there's a massive zone of resistance for Bitcoin at 112. It's a little bit higher than that right there. That was that previous point of support. Seems like Bitcoin's trying to break above it, but struggling a little bit. So that makes a lot of sense. ETH is doing decently well as well, up $4,400, up to $4,400. Up around 4.4K, still trying to recover some of these losses from the week, but seemingly running into a little bit of resistance there. If I'm probably seeing that correctly. Yeah, a little bit of resistance there. So ETH is kind of struggling at that little, there's this little piece of something right there. I'll check that out in a little while. XRP is looking okay. I know this bad boy is still battling to get out of that that pennant breakthrough that it did. Solana is actually up decently at 209. I am very glad that I did go ahead and where was that at? I'm glad I did go ahead and pull profits off this Solana trade. Tiny little thing. I mean, it's not really all that important, but it is the practice that counts, right? And I did go in and I did go full profit out on the Solana trade. So this was all fully in profit. I think it's almost back at break even, but remember, it was all a profit. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just profit doing what it's going to do. I'll literally let it get liquidated. I don't care. Because again, it was all profit. So gladly, I did go ahead and pull a little bit of initials out of that Solana trade because it has now recovered back up to 210. But the truth of the matter here is that this could be a sucker's rally, right? A rally back up to the Fibonacci golden zone and then a rejection back to the downside is very possible still. So that's why I'm not going to close down that little mini Solana short trade that we opened. Yeah, Fish, you remember that guy? But yeah, like, yeah, we'll just kind of leave that bad boy open, just kind of see what happens. Again, because my general thesis here, right, is like the worst case scenario is that Solana's price starts breaking down, right? And if that was the case, and say Solana was to make a move back down to, say the bounce zone, right? So $157 worst case scenario. That's a 25% move downwards. On 10x leverage, that's a 250% gain. And I'd be down for that, right? That would probably give me like a couple hundred extra bucks of, you know, a couple $100. That would literally just be a free to Solana that I would get if it made that move downward. So that's why to me, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not really scared of that. And that's why those little hedges are important. So yeah, that's where we are with Solana. Solana is running into a lot of major resistance, but I'll check that in a little bit. Let's see, USDC still flat. Huh? Dogecoin is actually looking decent on the day, but still trying to break through that little downtrend that it was in. I know Dogecoin is really in a pretty tough spot right now because it's trying to get back above that resistance. I'm still in a spot with Doge where I'm just kind of waiting. It has a massive zone of support below us, massive zone of resistance above us. And the question is like, which one of these does it break through first? I think that's the big game we're playing here with Doge. So gonna keep an eye on that bad boy, but that thing is actually, it's crazy that Doge is back in number 8 spot. It's actually pretty cool. I don't quite understand how Tron is still in the top 10. Like I feel like no one ever talks about Tron, but for some reason its price just always just like sends. I mean, look at August performance for this thing. It's just absolutely nuts. Even the last like 1 month, for example, it's actually not performed bad at all, staying flat when a lot of other cryptos are down on the 30 days. And if you look at the last year, I mean, it's still up substantially. I mean, over a 2x. Yeah. So Tron's still absolutely smashing it somehow. Really stable gains there for that bad boy. Cardano's actually doing okay as well, especially over the last month. It is still, you know, kind of slightly up, which is cool, but Cardano's just always slow. Nothing really all that interesting ever happens here. No, that would indeed be my mother. But yeah, so Cardano up 157% on the year, still kind of flat, just kind of maintaining and holding up well. So, I mean, all in all, top 10, top 15 is actually looking pretty decently. Hyperliquid holding up okay, but on the weekly is not looking great. Decent recovery there. We got Bitcoin Cash actually putting in some gainers on the week. It's pretty cool. What's going on here? I mean, decent, you know, decent. Not exciting, but decent. Avalanche, is Avalanche making a comeback? What's going on here? Not really. I mean, kind of. It is still just kind of flatlined. Let's see. Crow seeing some recovery. I'll take a look at that in a little bit. Pepe still stuck. Shiba Inu still stuck. I mean, not many big updates from the last couple videos that we've done, but all in all, I mean, the market's not in a terrible spot. It's really just kind of in that sideways bouncing neutral state, which is being represented well by the Fear and Greed Index, right? I think the Fear and Greed Index has hit the nail on the head. I think this is a very neutral market. I think that there's a lot of chaotic things that are occurring on both sides. I think there's bullish things. I think there's bearish things. There's a lot of stupid rumors going around, like that one that Donald Trump was dead from a few days ago. So that was kind of putting some downward pressure on the market. I mean, it's stupid. But yeah, all in all, I mean, I think the market's kind of just in decision-making mode. And that's one thing that we've been talking about for quite some time. I said, listen, going into September, you have to understand that things are going to be chaotic. There's going to be moves up and moves down. But at the end of the day, you're not going to see much happen. You're just going to see people getting liquidated on both sides of the coin up until the point where we get an interest rate cut decision. I do believe at this point, we are still seeing a massive likelihood that there is going to be a rate cut in September. It's pushing up higher and higher every single day, currently at 95.4%. What is weird is that generally speaking, this is such a good thing for the general investor that you would expect the market to be rallying in advance of it. And so it does kind of make me kind of question the market's response, right? Because say, for example, if interest rate cuts were this day right here, boom, and we were doing this, I would absolutely 100% be putting exit plans in place, because generally when you have a big event like this, you are going to see a sell the rumor event, but we're not getting a buy the or sell the news event. Sorry. But the interesting thing is, like, leading into this interest rate cut, as of now, we're not getting a buy the rumor event. We're literally just not doing anything. So I'm curious to see the impact that this has on the market. And it seems like there's a lot of liquidations that are going to occur and continue to occur on both sides of the coin. So the crypto market's been in a bit of a stuck spot, but I do still think that it is going to make some pretty important decisions that are going to put us in a spot to where it'll make it clear. When the time comes, it will be very clear what the market is doing. You know, a lot of people recently have been on my YouTube videos and they've been kind of pissed off, honestly. And I mean, it doesn't bother me. People get upset at the most random things ever. But, you know, a lot of my videos recently have been saying, like, hey, listen, there's a very big, important decision that's about to be made over the next couple of days or weeks that you need to watch out for. And that is still the state of the market. For example, Ethereum. Ethereum is quite obviously in an ascending structure that is making a big decision right now. Is it going to break past this previous point of resistance and start kind of creating the uptrend to push back towards the top side? Or is it going to lose support here? Is Solana's price going to fall through the bottom side of this massive ascending wedge, this ascending triangle that it's been in, and start capitulating? Or is it going to break through the top side? Is SWI, for example, going to be able to continue to ride this train upwards and break through this red zone? Or is it about to get rejected back down to like 229, right? There's so many of these altcoins that are in decision-making mode right now that I think it would be almost naive of any of us to not at minimum pay attention to these decisions that they're going to make. And the truth is, as frustrating as it may be, they've been in decision-making mode for like 5-6 days straight. And the biggest thing that we can do at this spot of the market is just not do much, right? You know, a lot of people get upset whenever I go into these periods in which I'm just waiting, but those are the same people who lose a lot of money in crypto. Because truth be told, the people who rush things, the people who feel like they have to trade every day, they have to buy every day, they have to sell every day, they have to make a move every day, they're the ones who lose. The most successful investors and traders that I've ever met in crypto oftentimes make moves less than once a week. That is just the truth, right? And so knowing that, I'm a person who says, listen, if there's not clarity, I don't act, right? I don't like moving crypto around when I don't have clarity, because truth be told, guys, when I look at ETH right now, I don't know what it's going to do. I genuinely don't. I know what the probabilities say. I know what historical performative data says, and historical performative data says that a break to the downside has a higher likelihood than a break back upwards, right? Or a break out, sorry, not back upwards, but a break out of this channel. So I know that in some senses there is clarity knowing that historical performative data points downwards, but I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with interest rates. I don't know what's happened geopolitically. I don't know what's going on with Russia, Ukraine. I don't know what's going on with Russia, US. There's obviously still everything going on with Israel. Like, there's so many things happening right now that can push this price either up or down. And so my theory is that some of the best ways to invest, some of the best ways to trade, is actually being responsive. Okay, it's being responsive. It's not emotional responsiveness, as many people would assume, right? It's not me saying like, okay, Bitcoin broke down, I'm going to sell. No, it's not panic selling. It's not FOMOing, but it's responsive in nature, in the sense that you assign certain things, you assign trigger points, and you assign actions based on those trigger points. What do I mean? Well, I'm the type of person who would say, okay, well, if Ethereum's price, for example, loses support here and confirms a breakout to the downside, at that point, I would open up a short trade with the take profit at 4,062 at the bounce zone, with the stop loss set back above $4,300. Do you see how it's responsive in nature? Because I'm saying if this, then that. That is how trading and investing should be, in my opinion. Even at the most macro vision, I think trading is a sequence of if-then statements. For example, like, what's a very easy one? If Bitcoin's RSI goes under 30, then I will buy. That's responsive. That's a strategy. I mean, it's a very basic strategy, but it is still responsive in nature because you're waiting for something to happen. If Bitcoin was sitting right at the 40 RSI and it was acting like it might drop, that doesn't mean I just start freaking out. No, I just wait and I say, okay, well, I'm going to wait. If Bitcoin pushes back up to 70, I'll take profits. If it falls back to 30, I'm going to buy. That's all I'm going to do. Everything that I do is responsive in nature. And outside of my forever bag. That is the only, okay, I don't want to say everything because I do have a forever bag of Bitcoin and VOO, which I buy every day no matter what. But even at its core, that could be considered an if then statement because to be fair, I could say if there is a new day tomorrow, then I will buy more Bitcoin. If there is a new day tomorrow, if I wake up in the morning, then I will buy more stocks, right? So everything is sequential in the sense that it is if then, if then, if then. And so I'm in a period right now of trying to determine where the if is. And for, ETH, for example, it's if ETH breaks down below the ascending structure, then I will set my buy orders in and I maybe will open up a bit of a short trade. If ETH's price pushes back up to an all-time high and pushes up towards 5,000 plus, then I will take profits and do what? Set those profits aside to reinvest when it does eventually break down. Everything is an if-then statement. And this is something that I do believe people sleep on a lot here in the world of crypto. And you need to be okay with waiting for the if. Just wait for the if. Wait for the trigger point. Okay. And the same thing goes with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is in the then right now for me. Okay. So when I look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is in the then moment already for me right now. So for example, what happened? When Bitcoin's price was pushing upwards, I told you all what to do. I said, if Bitcoin's price gets to the top side of this triangle, I'm going to take profit. That we did. I said, if Bitcoin's price falls out of this ascending triangle, then I'm going to dollar cost average in these three zones. And so as Bitcoin's price started to fall towards the downside, what did I do? I executed on the then. My trigger point was falling below it. The then statement was I'm going to DCA. So what did I do? I DCA'd. And now what happened? Well, Bitcoin's price is actually doing pretty well, trying to establish some support here. And so what's my next plan? Okay, let's break this down into a micro if then. So the big if then was if it falls out the channel, then I will accumulate at these key levels. The next thing is, okay, well, if Bitcoin falls through this one, then I'm going to buy again. If it falls through this one, then I'm going to buy again. If Bitcoin pumps all the way to the upside and it's capable of breaking through this macro level of resistance, then I'm going to start taking some profits off the table and likely rotating those profits into my altcoin positions, which should then follow soon thereafter. Do you see how everything, again, and I know I'm repeating this point a lot, and I'm sorry to be repetitive, but do you see how everything that I'm doing on a consistent basis is a series of if-then statements? This is what a real strategy looks like in crypto. This is what real investing oftentimes will look like. It's not guessing. It's not guesswork. It's not spraying and hoping for the best. No, you're simply just putting in a sequence of ideas, a sequence of trigger points and solutions, a sequence of also trigger points and actions that say, if this happens, then I will do this. And so that's where we are. So right now, when it comes to Bitcoin, I'm in my then moment right now. Then I will buy. So I did buy. When it comes to ETH, I'm in my if moment. Okay, if it falls below this channel, then I will buy. If it pushes to the top side, then I will take profit. XRP. If XRP comes back to the bottom side of this channel, then I will take profit. If it pushes back to this blue line, or sorry, if it falls to the bottom side of this channel, I will dollar cost average. If it pushes back to the blue line, then I will take some small profit right here, and I will take more profit if it's capable of breaking out, because I think it's going to push back up to this previous point of resistance and liquidity at like 335, right? And the same thing can be said. I mean, I can do this over and over and over again. You look at SWI. If SWI's price falls below this ascending structure, then I will start to accumulate around the $2.30 level. If SWI's price is capable of pushing towards the top side, knowing that it's still in this ascending structure, then I will take profits off the table. I don't overcomplicate things. I believe one of the biggest flaws that people have in the world of crypto is they overcomplicate every single thing that they do. The truth of the nature here is that in the world of crypto, your only goal should be buying low and selling high and doing it over and over and over again. And it doesn't matter. You may be somebody who says, Tyler, I'll never sell. Good for you. Most people will, right? 99% of people will take profits, and they should take profits, at least in my opinion. And the primary focus that you should have here in the world of crypto is trying to buy at the best time possible and take profit at the best time possible. Now, when is the best time possible? It depends on your time horizon. For example, taking profit on, okay, let me give you an example. If XRP was to push all the way up to the top side of this structure, right? Say if XRP was to, structurally break back up towards this blue line, this might not be the best time for you to take profit if you're someone who wants to just hold XRP for 5 years, right? Or 7 years or 10 years. Your best time to take profit will be then, right? But my thesis is that I want to make as much profit as humanly possible off of altcoins during the bull market and rotate the vast majority of all of those altcoin bags back into Bitcoin by the time the bear market starts or it commences. And my goal with that being to neutralize the volatility of a bear market to stabilize not only my personal life, but my mindset and my finances. And so knowing that my goal is to make as much realized profit off of altcoins as possible in the short, mid, and long term, I'm the type of person who who will take profits off of something like XRP if it makes a little move to the upside. And guess what? If it goes higher, I'll take more. And if it goes higher, I'll take more. It is no consequence to me to take profit here when I could have just taken more here. Great, cool. I don't think like that. I think, okay, great, I get to take more, right? And so my general investment strategy here in the world of crypto is, again, to capitalize on as much realized profit as humanly possible from altcoins to rotate them back to Bitcoin by the time we're in a bear market. And so what am I doing? Well, again, in a moment like this where the market is deciding, I just don't do anything. It's not a good time to buy. It's not a good time to sell. Just wait. And the opportunity will present itself within due time. You just have to be patient. When I look at something like XLM, I think it's very obvious what XLM is doing right now. XLM is obviously starting to create some sort of more macro structure that could look something remotely like this, right? I would say this is reasonable to assume this is what XLM has going on. So guess what? What I would do is I would say, okay, well, we're in a descending channel. We have the descending channel strategy, so my game plan remains the same. Anytime XLM falls back below this 75 or this 25% threshold to the 0 threshold, I'm going to buy. And when it pushes to the top, I'm going to sell. And I'm going to buy, and I'm going to sell. I'm going to buy, and I'm going to sell. And I'm going to wait for it to break. If it breaks to the downside, I'm going to look for macro levels of support to lower my dollar cost average from the purchases I did right here. If XLM breaks to the top side, great. I generated profit. I get to lock some profit up. I get to put some of it towards taxes, some of it towards having fun, some of it towards reinvesting, some of it towards putting it into Bitcoin before the bear market, right? And this is the game that I play. And I know it's boring, and I know it gets repetitive and redundant and oftentimes monotonous, but the truth is the best way to win in crypto is either to buy and never sell and hold it for as long as you possibly can, or to buy and sell in the most opportune scenarios. It does not have to be complicated, and I try my best to not complicate it, especially whenever I'm presenting to everybody who watches my channel. So I don't know why I went on this tangent. I quite frankly can't remember, but I hope this was kind of a good little moment for you guys to see why I am oftentimes just waiting and I am oftentimes not doing much. It's oftentimes best to just let it give us clarity and then use that clarity, use that overextension, use that moment of emotionality to purchase. One of the things that I like to say is I don't buy unless someone's freaking out. Whether a good person is freaking out or a bad person, whether, let's say, a bull is freaking out or a bear is freaking out, that's when I make a move. When a bull is freaking out and they're all excited, that's when I sell. When a bear is freaking out and they're all excited, that's whenever I buy. And I like to kind of counter trade. Connor Kinney calls it contrarian trading, and I think it's one of the most beautifully worded things ever because it is exactly what it is. I'm trading in the contrary. I am looking at how the market is, perceiving certain scenarios, and I do the opposite of it, right? And that's just kind of how it goes. So again, I don't remember why I went on this rant, but hopefully that is helpful just to understand that things don't have to be complex. They don't have to be complicated. Look for great opportunities to DCA in, look for great opportunities to take profit out, and hold good crypto assets for a long enough time horizon and a long enough period that you can generate a profit almost guaranteed. So that's again. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. All right. Let me see a couple people spamming, so you're gonna have to get the boot. Let's see. Okay, yesterday a dude challenged him in live stream to trade. Yeah, I know. And then he didn't join the live stream. I was so confused as to why he did it. All right, let's see here. I see a couple interesting chats. Ada, ads on a live stream is diabolical. I honestly didn't know the ads were on. So I have an automatic feature turned on YouTube where it automatically presets to, like, there are certain settings that you can have as YouTube or on YouTube, and I think that there's one on live streams where it'll automatically place advertisements where it deems the best. So I just let it do that. What do you think about rate cuts in September? I think poly markets are at over 90% for a cut. I think that's just that's a huge number. I think, like, such surety, such confidence that interest rate cuts are going to happen, to me, says they probably will happen. I just struggle to see the reason why. I am kind of this may be a bit of a contrarian perspective, but I am one of the people who doesn't quite understand why we need interest rate cuts, especially knowing that inflation is still a little bit elevated and it has these moments where it spikes. It is still a little bit, there is a little concern in my end that these interest rate cuts could definitely, like, be maybe bad timing. I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong. Listen, I'm not an economist. I don't know. Like, I've never been someone who goes out there and says that I truly understand the economy. I have a decent understanding of it from my analysis, but I just don't quite think we need interest rate cuts. And that's kind of my thought. I'm one of the people who says the Fed and, like, all of these governmental bodies shouldn't be involved unless they're needed. And I just feel like they're not really needed. So I don't know. Do you think that bull run depends on gold reversing and the Russell 2000 rallying at the same time, and also Bitcoin not going below 105? I don't think the bull run relies on any of those things, quite frankly. I think that they would all work in tandem with each other, but I don't particularly believe that it's needed. No. People say you're a YouTuber, not a trader. I agree. I'm not a trader. I'm an investor. I've never said I'm a day trader. I've never, ever once said that. I've also said many a times that 90% of my investment portfolio is allocated towards long-term holdings. I take 10% of my portfolio and I allocate it to whatever I want, whether it's, degenerate dumb shit that I like to do with meme coins, whether it's trading, whatever it may be. I will allocate a small percentage of my macro portfolio to it. And the truth be told, crypto only makes up roughly 20% of my total net worth as a whole. My net worth is made up 40% of real estate, 30% of cash, or 25% of stocks. I have like another 20% in cash. So the truth be told, like crypto is 20% of my total net worth, and of that 20%, 10% is allocated towards trading. So no, I'm not a trader, and I don't really think I've ever said that I'm a trader. I'm an analyst. I'm a technical analyst, and I do use it to support my long-term portfolio, right? I've outperformed most people who do just hold Bitcoin and keep it. If you look at the historical performative data of someone who just bought Bitcoin at, say, 30,000 and has it still today, I have generated more compounded gains than they have because of the strategies that I do implement of buying low and selling high. I consistently rinse and repeat over and over and over again. And so yeah, I don't particularly believe that I'm a trader, but yeah, YouTube does supplement my income well. So does my company. I own one of the, if not the biggest influencer relations agencies in all of crypto. We have a school that supports over 900 students and teaches them sort of strategy creation, trading, analysis, all that good stuff as well. Have the real estate, I have all that. So just to kind of give you this, like the tea, like it's not a rumor. No, I'm just not a trader, and I'm totally fine with that. So anyway, let's see. Tyler, show us your trade margin, please. No. It's one of the things. And to be fair, I have no trades open right now. I have a tiny little Solana trade, but I'm not trading right now. And I've been very transparent about that. I don't think right now is a good time to be leverage trading. It's very odd. It's a very odd rabbit hole you're going down. Gambler talk, no way. No way YouTube is paying that well. Dude travels more than anyone I know. Well, what can you say? Hello, what's up, Sinar? Welcome in. Yeah, bro, so much geopolitical bullshit facts. Yesterday, I do challenge him in the live stream to trade, and then the guy didn't join. Link will go parabolic soon. Ondo to rhythm. I need to look at Ondo. It's actually been a minute. I'll check that out in a second. Even if I don't wake up tomorrow, the daily buy continues auto buy. Tyler, that DCA, is that on spot or trade? That's on spot. What up, Eli? Welcome in. All right, this guy's going to have to get muted real quick. Sorry about it, buddy. All right. Can you talk about Monu? Yeah, I can take a look at Monu in a little while. Just remind me. Solana, Bitcoin, runes on Bitcoin will go parabolic. I've heard that a lot. I've just not seen it. And that's kind of one thing I struggle with. Never sell, do not panic. Never sell is crazy. I would never say that. How are you timing the rotation from alts to Bitcoin? There will be signs. I'm going to be a little bit late to it. I'm going to be a little bit late to the party for sure. But I'm already in a mindset where some of like my good profits, I'm already starting to like, okay, I generated a lot of profit off Bitcoin. I then put that profit into some alts. And those alts, that run from here, I'm going to take profit off those and put them back in Bitcoin. So I've already started to plant those early seeds of re-rotating back in. The issue is there's not a lot of alts that are really running hard, so I'm not re-rotating a ton yet, but it's more of a gradual thing. But when I make my big rotation, the bear market will already be here. Like I'm going to be like, oh shit, we're in a bear market. We're probably going to be here for 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, whatever. I'm just going to make a big rotation right now. But hopefully the goal is that the profits that I already had re-rotated will kind of counter some of the unrealized losses and I guess realized losses at that point that would be generated on Bitcoin compared to the alt that I had. Hopefully that makes sense. Good, exactly. Been doing the same thing. Works a treat. Yep, 100%. Bro is is buying dip of dip good crypto strategy long term and focus on like 5 to 6% profit on each dip rise? It's up to you. I'm personally a little bit more on the boat of buy a lot in bear markets, sell a lot in bull markets, and do the opposite in between. So, okay, when I'm in a bull market, I'm going to sell a lot. So when I sell a lot still to this day, I still take profit every time we bounce or anytime we rally, right? If we get little dips, I'll do the contrarian. I'll throw a little bit of cash to just try to continue to, ride that puppy upwards, right? Or if I'm in a bear market, for example, I'll buy a lot. So I'll be buying. I'll take some small profits off the table if we rally, but I'm more focused on getting into a position where I can buy. Just like in crypto during bear market or bull markets, I'm just looking to try to get in position to sell. That's all I'm trying to do. During bull markets, my full intention is to sell. That's all I care about. That's all I want to do. Why? Because I was buying Bitcoin at, 18,000, 20,000, 25,000. $1. I bought Solana at $12. I bought Ethereum at $1,000. I bought XRP at 50 cents and 30 cents and 45 cents. I bought all these cryptos during the bear market. So now I'm doing the opposite and I'm selling during a bull market. And guess what? Bear market comes around. Guess what I'm going to do? Buy, 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 buy. Rinse and repeat. Okay. So I focus more on it from more of a macro perspective. Axelar, yeah, just remind me a little while. Burger Money, love to see it. You're still convinced on your short trade? Nah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of convinced for sure. The way I look at this is it's kind of like, I don't care. Like where I'm at with the short trade right now is I don't care anymore because as I mentioned over in the school, I pulled my initial investment out of it. And it's a little trade. It's not a big deal. Burger Money, right? Shout out digital assets. It's all profit. So it's like if it gets liquidated at 231, it just gets liquidated. I don't really care. It's a free hedge. It's like, okay, well, the worst thing that can happen is Solana will dump, but at least I get a free Solana out of it. You know what I mean? That's kind of my general thesis here. But in all, I mean, I am still convinced that Solana has a huge chance of possibly pulling out of this triangle. No cuts. What is your opinion about runes on Bitcoin? I don't really have a huge opinion on them, to be fair. On you, how do you time? Okay, we talked about that. We love your effort. Shout out to you, HMZ. Tyler, what's the difference between cheap and expensive Patreon plans? They seem the same to me. Go with the $60 one. That's the one that gets you access to everything. Tyler was stopped doing dumbass by the wife coming in his life. That's more true than you could imagine. Shout out to the school. How do you see the market before and after the Fed meeting decision? Chaos and chaos. 100%. Just chaos and chaos. Soul is burger money, we were told. Exactly. I mean, what can I say? I'm just a burger eating guy, I guess. Damn, I wonder who just got banned and for what. I love my property portfolio, much less stressful and inflation proof. Def going to spend less time in crypto. Yeah, it's great, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, you rotate your profits into other asset classes. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be sucked into the vacuum of crypto thinking that crypto is the only means of gain in the world. No, of course not. There's many opportunities there. What about Trash Coin? I know nothing about Trash Coin. Just ordered my Lambo, so Ada better pump soon. Would you please do Render, Tal, and Wild or World? Yeah, I'll check that out a little bit. When the bear market starts, what price level do you think Bitcoin will bottom to? Somewhere around that last all-time high, I think. Probably like 60, 50, something like that. If I had to guess. Where the... Nah, but for real, do you think TradFi IPOs for crypto companies, ICE, Circle, and Gemini are a better opportunity right now? Not a better opportunity, just a different opportunity. What's up, Bunty? How's it going, homie? Shout out to you, Yordle. Tyler, can you tell us about the jobs report on Friday? Yeah, I'm actually going to have a tweet going out that breaks it down for you. Do you think Core will make big moves in the current run or later on? Probably a little bit later on. $500 soul, you heard it. How you feeling about the fight? Also, where can I watch it and win? I'm feeling good about the fight, man. I'm really excited about it. It'll be cool to get back in there. I haven't fought in a year now. I fought a year or 14 days short of a year. So 350 something days, I think. I haven't been in there in a while, but I have been training, have been getting better. And I'm rather confident I'm going to go out there and put him unconscious. So I guess we'll have to see. No one has ever put him unconscious before. I think he has 24, 25 fights now. He's never been put to sleep. And I am rather confident in my ability to be the first one to do that. So we'll see. Obviously, again, he's done an interview recently where he was very, very glaringly confident that he knows how to beat me after our first fight. Maybe, but he's going to have to show me. So I think the bear market has gone for stuff like Bitcoin and ETH. Institutions caught up in there shaking retail out. I definitely think there will be a bear market in the sense that prices will go down and stay down for a while, but just not in the violent fashion we've seen historically. Can you do analysis on .next Mario? Check it out later. What are your opinions on H-bar? I like H-bar, actually. I think H-bar is a good one. I just think it's a little bit undervalued, under talked about. If you were for some reason 100% out of the market, what would your entry strategy be? Thanks. Slow and steady right now. There will be another bear market. There will be better buying opportunities than $100 and $1,000 for Bitcoin. So just slowly start dollar cost averaging your way in now, maybe with 10% of your available cash. Stack up cash on the side. When the bear market comes, when you see Bitcoin fall under 80K, what's the word? Not load the boats. Yeah, maybe load the boats. I don't know the right phrase, but you get the point. Hi, Tyler. How much Bitcoin is going to in September? And do you think alts will also go down and what level? Well, Bunty, that's a lot. I don't have a crystal ball, homie. I'm not 1,000,000% sure, but I guess we'll see and I'll be here with you to let you know. What's your feelings on Coral? Do you think it's a long-term hodl? It's a long-term hodl for me because I really do appreciate the amount of effort that they're putting in behind the scenes. They're doing a lot of stuff with creators. As you guys know, I did recently get a partnership with them, which I was really happy about. They're doing a lot of stuff there. I think they're putting a lot of effort and impact on their marketing and their go-to-market strategy. So I think they'll have a lot of success. What do you think the market does if more jobs are added and if it weakens further? I don't know. I don't know. Any good economic data right now will not be good for the market because people will be like, oh God, he's not going to cut rates. And then they're just going to dump. So I don't know, to be honest. Or are we all fading Ave? I just think Ave hasn't gotten, like, there's not been no shine to it recently. They need to do more. The Ave team needs to do more. I think that means 42K Bitcoin. If you fight Andrew Tate, who's going to win? Andrew Tate's a lot bigger than I am. I fight at 145, 150 pounds. I think he's fighting at 190 pounds. So 50 pounds. I know I could hang with that motherfucker, but he's big. You can't discount size. I'd probably give it to him. Will you stream the FOMC meeting? Yeah, for sure. I'll be there. I actually get back the day before the FOMC meeting, so I'll definitely be here. Hi, Tyler. What's up, homie? I bet a yearly option on AMC would print well. It's at a 52-week low with great box office. Yeah, well, I mean, go for it. Then why not? Crypto stocks, commercial building. I like it. Tyler has a 3-finger peace sign pretty far out. Hope you had a good time in Dubai. Shout out to you, champ. I have 100,000 coral. Shout out to you. About to get my plane ticket and come see you in the cage. Pull up, fish. Actually, let's make that happen. That'd be so fun. Do it. The leg is up. Of course it is. What's your favorite from layer 1 and layer 2? My favorite layer 1 is Solana. I just love what they do. I think Solana is the best at building a community and building an ecosystem. My favorite layer 2 would be Base. Ooh, is that true? I don't know if that's true. I think it's what my gut says, so I'm gonna go with it for now. Do you think Bonk can moon like Shib did in 2021? Not like Shib did in 2021, but it could pump. Do you eat to perform? What do you mean? Crazy how somebody fights for a living in you. Crazy how somebody fights for living in you for passion fun. Yeah, I mean, it's just different worlds, right? And there definitely are advantages to fighting knowing that you don't pay your bills if you don't win. But it's not enough to beat me sometimes. It will be enough one day. It's just not yet. So we'll see. Somebody's going to get the better of me one of these days. I'm sure of it. And it is what it is. The crypto cipher. How do you feel about Ondo over the next quarter? Next quarter is a little bit spooky, but I do think long term, I think Ondo will be fine. But will Bitcoin go under 100K in the bear market after hitting 150K high? Yes. Bitcoin will very likely go under 100K again. Any opinion on Dojo West, the app layer for Dogecoin? Not a big, no like major opinions on it, enough to actually give you like an educated, good opinion. What about Hyperliquid and Hype Token? I never really got behind the pump, to be honest. Brillo in the building. What's up, champ? Shout out to you, DB Walker. Grubby, but the price action to speak for itself. Aave. Yeah, let me look at Aave. What's it doing? Aave. I mean, Aave's actually performing really well. I mean, that's a very good point. I feel like no one's even really talking about it, but it has pushed up in market cap. It's performing well. It's broke back into the top 30. Yeah, Grubby, you might be right. It kind of might be like one of those ones that everyone's just sleeping on. It will 100% go back. Yeah, I agree. Shout out to the crypto cipher for the $2 donation. Much appreciated, homie. More burger money, eh? Ondo, yeah, I think Ondo will be okay. Like, even if it pulls back again, my general thesis is that Ondo is one of those ones that will gain traction in a bull market in a bullish period, and it will do well. So I think it'll be all right. My fight is in December 5th. Do you think we'll have an alt season any soon? I believe that we are in an altcoin season right now. And I know that's a very unpopular opinion, but people have to understand that altcoin seasons aren't just characterized by stupid euphoria that's led by just, 1,000,000% gains for every single altcoin. We may never get one of those again with the amount of manipulation in the market these days, truth be told. But I do believe there are periods in which altcoins will outperform Bitcoin, and we've clearly been in one for the last few months. And will this be highlighted, and will there be a blow off top of this where alts just absolutely run? Yeah, hopefully so. But you can't, you have to understand that if you bought some alts versus Bitcoin, you've done better by holding those alts, and that's what matters. I mean, do it. Why not? I wouldn't do it, but whatever. Notice an ascending wedge on the 4-hour Bitcoin chart. It's possible we will go to 100K. I wonder if I see that. Yeah, I see it. I could see that. What's your prediction on ASI? I don't know anything about ASI, actually. I agree with Brillo. What did Brillo say? Oh, yeah. You think Toshi has potential? I know Money and my homie Lewis, he talks about Toshi every now and then. So if he talks about it, then I think so, yeah. How can I get my weed plant to grow as high as yours? You gotta put testosterone in. Oh, there's certain words I can't say anymore here on YouTube. But you sprinkle a little bit of that secret sauce, a little steroid juice on it, and dude, it'll just fly. How do you think about CME gap of Bitcoin at 115, 117K? I think it's reasonable. I think if Bitcoin continues to maintain the support, maybe one more little pullback to 110 and then a rip back up towards 115. I think it's reasonable. I don't think there's a reason. I think for sure. Base is my favorite layer too, I guess. OP would be second. A lot of optimism. Super stack just feels like needless bloat. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Brillo 1,000,000%. Check out Omni. Yeah, we might check it out later. Can we just long WLFI for fun? I mean, I'll do it if y'all do it. I don't care. Thoughts on XEN? Thoughts on Chainlink? I actually have a video going out on XEN later today over on Instagram, so make sure you go follow me there. I'm gonna shill a bunch of stuff in a second here, so just warning you now. Thoughts on AirDrone? I get asked about AirDrone a lot. I probably should check it out because I haven't yet, and a lot of people wonder what's up with it with me. Tyler versus Colton Sorensen, January 2026. Pull up. I'm with it. When do you think it'll stop? I have no idea, to be honest. I would assume within the next 6 months. One day Bitcoin fair value gap at $104,000. Okay, that's spooky work. Hopefully that, I mean, it's reasonable. I think it's reasonable. What's your thoughts on ICP? The price prediction, the price has been underwhelming. Yeah, it's just not done much. I don't really have much. I don't know. ICP's been one that's definitely been a little disappointing for sure. Secret sauce, exactly. Tyler versus Connor in December. It's not McGregor's Connor Kenny, exactly. Let me punch him for fun. DB Walker with the $2 donation. Much appreciated, my friend. All love to you, homie. Do you still own? Yep, I still have some of that. Is Tyler Hill MMA your old YouTube channel? I think there's probably an old YouTube channel out there somewhere. You want to go look? Let's find it. I just opened YouTube and I'm running like a Connor Kenny hate page. All right, let's see. I know I have a vlog out somewhere on a page somewhere. It's called like The Hitman. Yeah, this is me. Sure enough. 5 years ago. Wow, that's crazy. Then the pandemic started and I kind of just abandoned it a little bit. But yep, that's me. This was before. Nah, I had this YouTube channel already by then, but that's pretty cool stuff right there. I forgot about that. The Fight Life. That's fun. I was a young buck. Jesus. That's nutty. What was that? Fuck was I selling a stock portfolio? How much was in that? 10 grand in a stock portfolio 5 years ago. That's nuts. I forgot about that. I guess I was just like chilling. Oh no, we went hiking. I forgot about this. It's like a cool little hiking spot. Then there was like some sort of like haunted thingy or something. Young buck, man. I was 20 in this, 19, something like that. I always do like to go look at my like my old ones. I don't know if you ever go look at these, but they're like kind of cringe. But I mean, why not? Damn, that's nuts. Anyway. Let's see. Who is Satoshi Nakamoto from your opinion, Tyler? Is he alive? I don't know. I think it's an institution. And I think many people actually know who it is, but they just can't talk about it. Like I would assume it's something like governmental or something along those lines. I don't think it's an actual person, but that's a conspiracy. I don't feel like getting in. I'll long WLFI on 1x leverage. Man, grow up. Do a 1,000,000x. Why not? Chainlink Tyler. I'll check it out. When did you start investing in general and how? I started investing in 2017. I was 16. It was with pennies at the time. I had maybe like $4 or $5. Opened up a Robinhood account. My mom helped me open it up because I wasn't supposed to have a Robinhood account yet because of my age. But I did open that up. I started just kind of doing some small stock investments and stuff when I used to work as a dishwasher. I just wanted to give myself a raise. I wanted to be able to make money while I was at work, not at work. And yeah, I started doing that in 2017, actually. Yeah, 2017. I bought a little bit of stocks. I bought a little bit of Bitcoin, just kind of randomly. I sold that bad boy way too early at like $2,000. But yeah, very long story. How do you stay mentally sharp? Good diet or add supplements? Good diet, good sleep. Good diet, good diet, good sleep. That's all you need. And drink water. Good point. Huh? So real quick on fighting, what's your opinion on that Jake Paul versus Tank Davis fight? I think it's stupid. I think it's interesting because Jake is so much bigger than Tank that it might neutralize Tank's skills, but I still expect that Tank's going to probably smash him. Eli, you watch Adesanya, favorite fighter? Of course, got to. 10 grand. Tyler, could you do a stream on retake? Solana streaming coins blew off already. Why not bases? That's an interesting point. I'll go look at that. You and Sam are the most reliable crypto YouTubers. No BS. Shout out to you, homie. Sorry, not ASI. I meant your price prediction on FET. Yeah, I'll check that out maybe if we get a chance. When did you start getting into kickboxing? I started karate in 2010. Or no, I started jiu-jitsu in 2009. Then I got into karate in 2010. I did it until 2013. I took 2 years off until 2014. I started training kickboxing and Muay Thai in 2015. And then I have been doing it ever since. So I'm about 14 years deep now. What a kid. The CIA. Which AI coins do you believe in, Tyler? FET's obviously good. TARS AI is a good microcap there. Yeah, probably some of those. Can you give me some advice on XRP? Hold it and leave it alone. I'm just doing sorry for I talked about XRP. It's no problem. Any good or bad news about SCI coming or going? I've been building a position. I'm at 16 cents. Should I take profit? Should I sell? Any advice would be awesome. Non-financial, obviously. What's SCI at right now? So you bought it at 16 cents. It is at 29 cents. So you've nearly doubled. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably take a low profit. You got a real good scoop. You bought it real close to the bottom. It's up now, but it is ranging a little bit, and it's a bit sideways. It has struggled to gain momentum a couple times. Yeah, I'd probably take a low profit off the table. Non-financially, though. Huh? Do you think Chainlink will reach a new high this year? If the rest of the market does. Busy day, had to drop in to say hi. Gisley, what's up, homie? Do you use a water filter? Do you recommend one? I don't. I should. I don't. I'm not gonna lie. The real question is, what do you think of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson? I thought it was stupid, but what can you do? You should check our Balkan MMA scene is fire. FNC 23 was so good, and this weekend FNC 20. Give it a look. I promise you'll like it. That's interesting. FNC 23. I'll write that down. Okay. Where'd that go? Oh, there it is. What's your favorite coins from the ETH ecosystem? What a fantastic question. Let's look. What would my favorite ETH one be? Ondo's a good choice here. Might go with that. Trying to see if there's any I forgot about. I'd probably give the win to Ondo. Yeah, I'd probably give the one to Ondo. What would you do if you'd invest in another safe Moonlight coin? I'd be happy and I'd take profit this time and not be stupid. I mean, probability of XRP price going up or down. It is right now battling. It's like at a bit of a decision-making point right now. It's trying to decide whether or not it's going to re-enter and maintain back within this triangle. But the biggest thing that I would say is just wait and allow this bad boy to try to break through the descending structure. If it can get through this descending resistance, that'll be kind of the trigger point. If it breaks down one more time, like if it falls back below like 278, I would assume it's going to come back to these lower levels. So it's really just giving it a little bit more time right now. No offense, but you do not look very dangerous. Didn't think you would do MMA. It's all good. I've gotten that a couple times. Riz Halloween. Okay. In September, Stray Dog, Tyler, can you? Okay, I think we're getting okay. I did Muay Thai from 2007 to 2011, then got into MMA for the next 4 years after that. Been meaning to get back to it. You should. Shout out to you though, by the way. Not many of us out there. Is there going to be an analysis for altcoins, or has it already happened? I did a good bit of analysis earlier, but I'll do a little bit more in a little bit here before I clock off in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Let me show some stuff real quick. I'm gonna get back to your question. Let me show some stuff. A couple things, guys. If you do want a little bit more behind the scenes information from me, like extra analysis, extra stuff into my personal life, feel free to go follow me on Instagram. It is linked down below, Tyler Hill YT _. I post a lot of like behind the scenes stuff, whether it be about fighting. I got a little late night session in last night, little fight session or whatever, little morning update, little bike ride action, talking about the bounce zone for Bitcoin. So I'm just kind of talking about personal life stuff, whatever. I post a little bit of stuff here and there. So feel free to go follow me there if that interests you. If you are trading any cryptos, Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, XRP, or many more, you can go get up to $10,000 in bonuses if you sign up with my link, which is linked down below. You're also going to get lower trading fees. So if you are trading a good amount of money, this could save you a lot and make you a lot. So I feel like that's the best of both worlds. Feel free to check that out down below. Don't forget, we do have the crypto playbook. It's a free playbook that you can download and get right now today. I'll send it over to you by email if you press the get instant access button and give us your name and your email. From there, it's like 11 chapters, a whole bunch of information about crypto as a whole. So feel free to go check that out in the link down below. And I do have a couple more links down there about some other stuff that I can't remember. So feel free to go check those things out. Big thing though is that if you do find my content interesting, please do follow me on Instagram. That is where you can get a lot more from me every single day. What happened to lizards as a wall decoration in your studio? I know I want to get one that kind of like clips on right here. I just can't find one. You talked about the bull flag pennant before. Does that mean it's more likely XRP price? If it gets back in it, yes. Safe Moon, what a good time that was. It was a good time until it wasn't. Hello from India, bro. No questions to ask really because you answered them all in your videos. Just a big thank you to you. Shout out to you, champ. All love. Wish I hadn't bought a small amount last month of Risk Halloween. Sorry, that's not how it's spelled. I can't even do math. I'm up 45x. Jesus. I don't know a ton about Aptos. So I don't really keep up with it. Have you ever holidayed to Bali, Ty? No, I haven't actually. I was supposed to go. I was supposed to go with the boys to Singapore and Bali afterwards, but I had a bit of a change of plans. I'm doing something else. But I'll get out there at some point. Any thoughts on options trading? I do think some small options trading is cool. I think people abuse it too much, and that's why I wouldn't really recommend people to do it, just like leverage trading. But I do think, selling some call options and stuff is always a decent thing, especially if you have a good enough bag for it. Well, up or down is just depending on Bitcoin right now. Kind of. Any news on DexRP? No news. No news quite yet. I'll take a look at Coral. Will you ever make a stock channel? I feel like as of late, it's where I've had the most success. Probably not a full channel dedicated to it, but I would like to do more content about it. Shout out to you, Crypto Decker, all love. Can I suggest one coin to get your thoughts on? Sure. We might not get to it, but feel free to share it. Do you see a drop in Bitcoin till around 105K before we move up only? It's possible, but I wouldn't call it up only guaranteed, not in this manipulated market. KTAs, okay. I'm not a huge fan. I don't dislike it. I don't love it. I just kind of in the middle. Also want to say I like the thumbnails you've had where the background isn't a solid color. Feels like pops out more and feels more natural, if that makes sense. I appreciate that. Yeah, it seems like they perform way better than the other ones, so I've been doing a lot more than that. How did you find crypto friends? Because I'm alone at the start of my journey. Just YouTube, really. I met a couple other YouTubers and talked to them about it all. One of the best things you can do is join a community. That's where you'll find a lot of success. Really, just jump in, start talking, start chatting. Feel free to join the Crypto Strategy School. Shameless plug. It is down below. Tyler is the type of guy to sit on the toilet with the lid up and calls it sport mode. It ain't my fault it's sport mode. Don't judge me for what I do. Is it? Damn, it's raining like crazy. Is it worth it now to begin a regular purchase of Bitcoin to hold long-term given its current price? Yes. Not financial advice, but NMR looks really good. Spot buy 100 million market cap, 11 million total supply, and a deal with JP Morgan. That's interesting. You can check that out one day. Not much TA to give on the chart, but it's losing its sell pressure. Cool. Tyler, when are we going to see that massive aggressive move up of Solana? I don't know. I feel like there's still going to be a little bit of time until that because it is in a weird structure right now. Like this for 4 years, and I've only been able to find 2 people that I knew previously and found out they were involved. It's hard, man. There's not many of us. You just got to join a community and get super involved in it. Like, I feel like anybody, okay, I'm not shilling, but I'm just being honest. Like, okay, the people who are in the school right now, put in the chat if you've met people in crypto through the school that you chat with. Put I have or something like that in chat. With manipulation being technically illegal, how come they get away with it so much? Because rules don't apply to lizard people. You think we're in altcoin season now? Does that mean you think your major alts like XRP, ETH, Solana no longer follow Bitcoin price, or is it just Bitcoin dominance dropping? I think they definitely still move directionally in the same way that Bitcoin does, but I think that they can move on their own and they can outperform Bitcoin. How's your wife doing, Ty? She's doing great. She's doing great, better than ever. She's absolutely smashing it. She's been doing a lot of great stuff, smashing the gym, dude. She can ride a freaking bike longer than I can some of these days, which is crazy to me. Like, cardio, she's doing a lot of cardio, doing a lot of great dieting stuff. She's doing a fantastic job, so she's doing a great job. IDCA $10 a day in Bitcoin, no emotion involved. I love that. Do more of that. Okay. Join the Crypto Strat School. Shout out to you. Will the alt beat last year's end levels? Maybe. This is Pious. It says Wayfair. What's up, homie? Welcome in. Your opinion of Pingu? I like Pingu. I have 7K Bitcoin and 3x leverage. Is this good at the moment? It depends on a lot of things, but I mean, overall, it's all right. 3x leverage isn't too much, so I think you'll be in a good spot. Looking good, Tyler. Please opinion on TARS AI. Appreciate that, homie. TARS AI is still in a good spot, in my opinion. I think their team is still working diligently to provide a ton of value to the ecosystem. They just need the right environment to flourish, so I still like it. Go to the school. Couldn't have made it this far without it. Shout out to you guys. Do you go live every day? I didn't get an alert. No, not every day. Honestly, I don't really go live that often, but I do like to just jump on when I have some free time and little kind of cool periods in between company stuff. So I just wanted to jump on today. I think I've live streamed the last 2 days in a row. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, and today. So pretty cool. Shout out to you, John. All right, let's do a little bit of extra analysis on a couple more cryptos, and then we're going to wrap it up today. Rapid fire stuff here, guys. Caspa, the scenario is very similar. Caspa is still in this macro structure. The game plan remains the same. Let's see that if it can maintain this golden zone of support, maybe come back down a little bit more towards that 0.077 level. But the main primary focus for Caspa is to break this line. Once it breaks this line, that opens up the doors to heaven. We'll walk straight through. ADA is one that I am still being a little bit cautious about right now because it did just fall below that ascending level of support. I still think that ADA pulling back towards 67 cents is more than possible. And so because of that, I am just going to be extremely careful. I'm going to be extremely careful with ADA right now because, again, a move like this is extremely possible here. Shiba Inu is in a similar spot as Pepe in the sense that it does, of course, have this descending structure right here, this descending resistance, and it's trying to maintain some support in and above the golden zone. So the game plan right now for Shiba Inu is let's just see which one it breaks first. Does it break above resistance or does it fall below support? That's going to tell us the direction it's likely going in for a while. Same thing for Pepe. As you can see, Pepe has the descending level of resistance, the support here, golden zone support. Let's see if it can maintain golden zone and break above it, or if it's going to get forced down and head back down towards the 8.3 level and below. Looking at Aave, which is one that we've gotten a lot of requests about today. Aave is actually looking pretty decent. Obviously, would be a little bit careful, especially on the 4 hours, because we are kind of seeing that, that ascending structure being formed, and you guys know how I feel about that. At any given point, Aave's price could easily start pulling back towards, say, the $276 level to retest these previous lows. So just be very careful with Aave, especially right now, considering its price is also sub a massive level of resistance. You can kind of see it all playing out right there. You had that previous point of resistance from a few weeks ago, back in June, a few months ago, I guess. Then you also had this one from a few weeks ago, back in July. So it is struggling to break through this resistance level. And so knowing that it's creating ascending structure and has resistance above it, Aave is one I would be very careful with. I would also be taking some profit off the table if I had a pretty big Aave bag. Okay. I like that comment. Tyler is the only YouTuber that I have to use 1x speed and cannot get speed up listening any faster. I'm going to get you through this content fast. ICP is, again, another one that's just been underperforming to the point I'm just not even really interested right now. I mean, at the end of the day, it is still within the massive macro golden zone, so it does still have the capability of rallying towards upside, but I've made it clear, don't do anything on ICP until it either breaks 443 to the downside or clears 61 or 6.1 to the upside. That's when the real big move is going to happen. Until then, it's just going to be, range bound and going sideways. Trading this range is totally fine between support and resistance, but I wouldn't be doing it on any big leverage because we've now been in this for so long, right? We've been in this the whole year, basically. So for ICP, I'm just waiting for it to get out of this box. Okay. Okay. So let's see. HBAR is pulling back, but I'm not too concerned about it. HBAR is kind of trending downwards, but again, it's in a descending channel. The strategy remains the same. HBAR, I'm looking to dollar cost average the lows. I'm going to be taking profits at the highs in this channel over and over and over again until it eventually breaks out. HBAR does have a good bit of support right below it right now, whether it be that support level, whether it be this support level, whether it be the Fibonacci golden zone up here. Right, so I think HBAR is going to find a higher low. It's going to try to continue up over 30 cents again. The game is just, how long is that going to take? No one knows. But in the meantime, I am willing to DCA some HBAR through it. Looking at XLM is in the same position. XLM is coming back down, creating a descending structure. I'm buying the bottom side of this descending structure, taking profits at the top side until eventually it does try to give us a break upwards. SWI, I'm being very careful about right now because, again, it is in this macro massive, ascending structure. I believe that it does have a huge point of resistance above it right now that is clearly forcing the price downwards. And so what I'm looking at with SWI is, can it either break through this resistance and go topside to lock me in more profit, or is it about to nuke back down towards like 229 or 169, at which point I will be doing some dollar cost averaging in there. So the vast majority of all of our altcoins, I think at this point you can kind of understand, are trying to make massive decisions of whether or not they're going to break through structures or break down below structures. Many of those structures are ascending structures, which means there is a decent chance that the altcoin market does pull back. I would say there's a 60% chance that we do get a bit of a pullback here in the altcoin market based on all the structural analysis that I've done. And that means that it would either happen sometime like now, or it would give us another run and then a pullback. So I am still being very careful here in the altcoin market. I'm not doing anything big, nothing too crazy, no big long trades, no big short trades. I'm just kind of letting it play out. I want to see whether or not ETH can hold the structure, XRP can hold a structure, can ETH break to the upside and all that stuff. So obviously I will continue to update you guys as it plays out, but we are in a wait and see mode right now. And I know you may not want that to be the case. It is the case. You just got to get over it. Okay. And so, so that's kind of where we are there. Don't forget, if you are trading any of these alts, you can go get up to $10,000 in bonuses and perks if you check out BTCC down below, and you're going to get lower trading fees. And don't forget to follow me over on Instagram. We're at 2,664 for the stream started. We're up 10 followers since then. So shout out to those 10 of you who did follow. And yeah, so with that in mind, ask a couple more questions away, and I'm going to shut this bad boy off in a couple minutes here. All right. On BTCC, what is the different leveraging amount? What is the different leveraging? Same amount of dollars at 50x versus 500x. I don't exactly know what you're asking, but yes, you can 50x and 500x. I just know bro graduated with 4.0. Maybe. Also, my neighbor is selling his home. Why is it? Wait, what was the context of that? Oh, when you move, if your new neighbor is into crypto and wants to hang out, will you tell him to join the school and leave you alone? I won't tell him I'm into crypto at all. I don't really talk about crypto with anyone in real life because I'm like, I don't know, I get a little bit weird about it. You still interested in Sonic Chain? Yeah, I like it. I don't talk about it a lot, but I like it. We're gonna leave XLR alone for this one. Why wouldn't alts move back to last year's level? Isn't year 4 supposed to be the most bullish, Tyler? It's supposed to be, but that could be the very reason they don't, right? It could be later. It could be in the middle of next year. Who knows? Agreed. Do you think all these alts are holding back good news and coiling up before a wild push up? I don't particularly think that they're like holding back good news. I just think they're not really doing that great. Let's look at Ondo. I meant to look at that one. Oh no, it's around here somewhere. There we go. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Ondo's still a bit of the same for me. Like when I look at Ondo, I just got to see this bad boy being able to break the structure. Like it has to get out of this trend that it's in right now. I don't know what that green line was. My honest opinion is that it looks like this. We have this huge zone of support below us. We have a tiny little level of resistance above us. We need to use the support and break upwards. At which point I do think it would be rather easy for Ondo to try to make a move of like 20%, 30%, 48, 49%. I think Ondo breaking up towards $1.40 is definitely possible. The question is, does it pull back a couple times before making that move up there? So Ondo actually looks pretty good. I think it's in a decent dollar cost average opportunity right now. I mean, I think ADA's in an okay spot, but I do prefer Bitcoin over ADA. Thank you, Crypto God. Shout out to you. Omni will be in the next one. Sorry about that, homie. Sell ADA, buy Link and Solana. Also, what are your monthly prices, Chico? What do you mean? Doge broke the structure, right? No, not yet. Not yet. Was a bear market beginning? Hard to tell. Ever heard of the Chroma L2? Me neither. Same here. People think you're insane being into crypto. I agree. I don't really like the stigma that comes with it. Bitcoin is bearish divergence on the weekly and monthly. Expect a decent drop from around here. Where do you think it's going to, Anthony? Shout out to you, by the way. I've seen you in the last few streams. Would you short or long Solana? I'd probably short if I had to pick one, but I wouldn't do either one realistically. Tyler, unless it was a little one like my short. Tyler, please tell us about the lizard people. I honestly knew about them for many years. I mean, yeah, I believe it's macros. I think it's institutions and market makers that are blatantly manipulating prices to liquidate people, charge the fees that come with liquidations and those trades being made and being exited, and then the money cycles up into their pockets. And so, of course, because of that, they'll sustain prices for as long as possible, rinse people as much as possible, then let crypto prices go up, and then dump crypto on investors. I think that's who they are and what they do. We'll check out Pendle another day. What do you think of the theory that crypto no longer follows 4-year cycles? Now it's more mature asset class and operates more like a stock market now. I still think that there will be 4-year cycles because I think the cyclicality of crypto has always been as a result of human emotion, and that is still there. But I do think that the 4-year cycles are clearly changing. They clearly look different, and they will over time evolve and adapt. Do you believe at some point we will get a cycle like 2021? Not really. I don't really think we're going to get a 2021-esque cycle where people were literally just being given thousands of dollars to do whatever they want. But I do think we'll still have really big cycles like we did last year. Like your class, premium classes. Shout out to you. Thoughts on Arrow, Toshi, Bayesian overall? Alrighty. Well, look, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump off. I'm going to go eat. I haven't eaten yet today except for like a little bit of eggs. So I'm going to go grab some food. It's always a pleasure to jump on and talk to you guys. Please don't forget on your way out of the stream to check out some of the links that are in the description down in the comment section in the description down below. Check out the school, check out Instagram, and much more. Got a little alarm going off for you guys. PTSD action there. But shout out to you all again for joining in today. I really, really appreciate all of you who join in. Guys, I am going to be a little bit MIA next week. I'll still have videos going out, but no live streams going out. So I'm going to try to knock out some more live streams this week. So make sure you turn on those notifications. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out all the links in the description. And shout out to all of you who joined in. I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out.